Okay, so since you guys wanted the twins bugs more than noise point bugs in a poll that I did, I'm going to be doing an explanation of the twins bugs. Now, I'm on the PC version, which all the bugs that are major are fixed on the PC version that Buttery Stancakes made, but it's more convenient for me to record this on the PC version, and I also won't have my, it won't what the last time I had the twins on a video, it didn't fill out the entire screen, and I want it to, so I'm gonna be recording on the PC version. If that's alright with everybody watching, let's go ahead and explain some bugs. We're gonna do this on extreme with guests, and I'm also gonna go get the mask. So, I guess while I'm looking for that mask, oh, here we go. It's right here. Nice. Okay, so the first bug we need to talk about that we're only going to talk about major bugs, by the way. There are a lot of bugs in video games, obviously, but there are ones that are more important to mention than other ones. So the first one that I want to mention is fall damage bugs. This happens when you drop from a height like this and you take fall damage. That's not supposed to happen. If that ever happens, that is a bug. Now, the reason this happens is kind of unknown. The last I heard, it's because DV did not calculate how the fall damage works correctly. But apparently that might not be the case anymore. We're kind of unsure about it. But this is actually a preventable bug. The way you prevent this from happening is by crouching at a drop that would cause the fall damage bug to happen, and as you're dropping you just uncrouch and it shouldn't happen. So yeah, that's it for that one. Now the next one that I want to talk about is this guy right here, Grandpa. We're going to talk about Grandpa because in this version of the twins he I was not right next to him. I don't know why he did that, but okay. Uh, that didn't happen when I was standing next to Granny. I guess he just wanted to be an asshole. Anyway. When you stand... Not stand next to... Oh my god, my brain. When Grandpa hears a noise that he would hear in the game, he does actually hear it. He's not completely deaf. He does hear noises. It's just that he doesn't respond to them properly. Oh god, I forgot that was there. Okay, we're good. Can I get the mask? Yes, I can. Okay, anyway. So he doesn't respond to noises properly, but he does hear noises. So basically, what happens in the mobile version is, if I make a noise that Grandpa would hear, which one would be the lasers in the prison. So let's go over here. Let's drop the crowbar. And as you can see, Grandpa responded to that noise, just like everybody else would. And he does hear noises in the mobile version. It's just that his hearing is broken. So what happens is, instead of going to where the noise was made, he's going to go to a waypoint that he had naturally generated. So right now, he's walking to maybe the shelter? Question mark? We're going to follow him a little bit. Yeah, he's going to the shelter. So basically, if I were to explode a laser right now, he would run over to this waypoint that he's going to right now. And if he was already at the waypoint, then he just stands there and does nothing. He does hear stuff, but it's broken. So he's basically just completely RNG. You could say he's deaf, except he's not really deaf. Now, the next bug, that is pretty important. Let's bring some characters over here. We want Granny over here, specifically. There she is. Okay, so, Granny, if I were to spam drop an item at a noise point she's at, then eventually she'll just walk away from it without saying a voice line or dropping a bear trap. This is a bug. This is not supposed to happen. In this version, you can spam noise points in an area as much as you want, but it doesn't have to be a specific area. The bug just happens if she was at a noise point and you make several other noise points in between, then eventually her AI will just bug out and she'll walk away from the noise points entirely. So yeah, that's that bug. Now, there's another bug with Granny that is pretty important to mention. And I did get asked about this in the comments on my poll that I made. The question was, why do they stand in the prison randomly? And the answer is because it happens when Buck specifically steps in a bear trap. If Buck steps in a trap, what happens is there's no noise point generated, but the code for them to go to a noise point is still there. So what happens is their AI does a failsafe, and they will go to their specific waypoint in the prison, one of them. I don't actually know where Buck goes, but it does happen for Buck when he respawns. But Granny will go into this cell, and Bob will stand right here under the pump switch thing, the pump handle thing. And I think it also does affect Grandpa, but you won't really see it happen for Grandpa because his hearing is broken, so yeah. Now, honestly, that's kind of all the major bugs in this game. All of them suck, and fun fact, Impossible mission with guests, with Grandpa's shotgun, with Deafened Grandpa, with plasma traps, and everything else, is actually not harder than vanilla game Extreme with Guests Maskless because of all the bugs that are in the vanilla game that majorly affect the gameplay experience. You're basically playing a purgatory if you choose to play Extreme with Guests Maskless, and if you somehow manage to clear it, then good job on you, because it's very difficult and the hardest thing that you can do in any official DV game, genuinely. But yeah, that's pretty much all the bugs that I wanted to mention. Now, for some more minor ones that were also fixed in this port of the game, let's go to the cellar. By the way, this is not a sewer. This is a cellar. Dirty water under a house does not equal a sewer. Anyway, if you ring this tomato can, then of course you're going to expect Buck to come down to it. There he is. He's running to the tomato can. But in the vanilla game, if you drop an item after you ring the tomato can, and then ring the tomato can again, then every single enemy will hear it. Or maybe, actually, I think it's if you just drop an item and then ring the tomato can, that every single enemy that can hear will hear it. So that's another bug. It's not really that major. You wouldn't really experience this ever. In the vanilla game, this creek does not lure Granny. Let's see, what else? What else is there? I know there's another one that's pretty important to mention, but I can't remember it exactly for some reason. What was it? I think... Oh, yeah, the Dynamite. This isn't really a bug, more so of an oversight. But sometimes when you throw the Dynamite down here to the beetle, then the Dynamite will kill you somehow. That happens because the Dynamite is still enabled. Like, it's still generating hitboxes after it blows up and it goes invisible. So it's flying up after it explodes. It's being launched up by the explosion it creates, and it's still creating hitboxes to damage anything it touches. So that's why that happens. And the final bug that I want to mention is up here at the control room. In the control room, this microphone will lure characters up here. Now, as you can see, it lures Grandpa, and it always was supposed to do that in the vanilla game. It just never did properly because you can't hear. But on top of that, the microphone only works once per game in the vanilla game. It's broken, and the noise point that it generates does not have collision with anything. So it just falls through the map, and it never comes back because it just keeps falling through the map constantly. So it only works once per game, on top of Grandpa not being able to hear properly. And I believe that is everything. Quick note that the Dynamite in this port does lure Grandpa, but it does not work in the vanilla game, so if you use the Dynamite to lure Grandpa in the vanilla game, or get him to a different noise, or not noise point, waypoint, that's not going to work because that does not work in the vanilla game. That's just something that Stan added to her port of the game. And I'm pretty sure that's every single bug in the Twins that's major. There's a lot of other bugs, of course, like there's always going to be a ton of bugs in a video game. But those are the major ones that really needed an explanation as to how exactly they work and why they happen. So, yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. I don't really have much else to say.